Professional courtesy, part 2. The thing with that, you wake up and you realize that there is a time and a place for everything. I was in my 20s when I worked at Sears. I was jumping between jobs. I was going to college. I was working 3 jobs. I was going to college and working 3 jobs. And I really wanted to be an actor. And it wasn't working out because the curriculums in schools are basically bullshit. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. The curriculums at school, they don't always teach you what you need. They teach you what they want you to know, but they don't teach you how to deal with, no, you can't be in my film. No, no, no. I was getting none of that training. I was getting some acting training, so thank you, Mr. Ruff. But all the other shit that was required for me to take had absolutely nothing to do with acting at all. And if you're going to take up acting, it would probably behoove you to go to a school specifically designed to teach you about acting. Alright? And the reason I say that is because, let me be honest, there is a lot of working acting, and there's not a lot of work acting at the same time. Let me explain. Alright, I'm multicultural. Again, if you watch the other video, I'm Cherokee, I'm black, and I'm white. There is no one writing stories for people like me. Alright? I don't look black enough to play a black person, and they're not going to hire me for a Spanish person because I don't speak Spanish. They're not going to hire me for anybody because there's no writers who are Native American. They can write a story around a Native American guy. So I started making my own movies, and my characters are always going to be mixed with either Native American or some other Asian ethnicity, since Native Americans are Asian. And my other half, the character, is always going to be black. It's just as simple. I'm going to be black and Native American, I'm going to be black and Asian. Because those are the characters that I'm going to physically be able to play because of my face. However, those characters don't exist in Hollywood. And if they do, the only person who gets those characters is The Rock. No offense to The Rock, but it's the truth. And he doesn't even get to play that, and then they're giving him a hard time because he wants to do John Henry. Moving on. Professional courtesy simply allows you to work with people who secretly just can't stand your ass because of the one thing in the universe that you, as a person, cannot change. You can't change the fact of what race you're in. You can get all the skin bleaching you want, but the next spawn of your generation that comes from your loins is going to still be a person of color, whether you like it or not. Then you can marry out of your race and lighten that child's skin, and the next generation can marry out of their race until they're as far away from your race as possible. The sad part is, you still have that genetic makeup that you cannot change. It took a long time for me to accept all 3 of my races. A very long time. But it was mostly because, when I was younger, I didn't know I was mixed. I just thought I was black and got blessed with curly hair. So, that being said, it wasn't until after I got into the 5th grade I found out I was part Native American. Which would explain why my great-grandmother looked totally different than me and my grandmother on both sides. But here's the thing, Native Americans have different shades. I did not know that. Some Native Americans are exceptionally light. It just depends on their location. Alright? Now, once I found out Native Americans was Asian, because I lost a bet to my Korean friend, again, professional courtesy, because when we first met, he thought I was part Chinese. And I was like, dude, you should probably get your glasses checked. And he said, no, I really thought you were Chinese from a distance until I got up on you. I said, well, clearly you can see all this brown. I said, there's no brown people in China. And he's like, well, you mixed? I said, yes, I'm part black and part white and part Native American. He said, and there it is. Native Americans are Asian. And I said, no, we're not. We're here. We've been here for 20,000 years before Columbus and them ever discovered the place. And he goes, I will prove you wrong. A smile ran across my face, and then a frown because he proved me wrong. But the point of the matter is, when it comes to professional courtesy is a way for everyone, whether you are racist or non-racist, to get along. Now here's the thing. The best way to prove someone is a racist is if you guys are having a serious conversation, because kids don't see color. And you look at this person, and let's say you have a 15-year-old daughter, he has a 15-year-old son. They get along well. They're not in love or anything. They're not like nowhere near that kind of relationship, but they're both 15. and then you say, would you let my son, who is black, date your daughter, who is not? And if that motherfucker raises up and says, get the hell out of my house, or hell no, then it's more than likely they've been racist. You know? Now, if they say, if your son can make my child happy, and this part isn't professional courtesy, if your child can make my child happy, I don't have a problem with that. Now, if your child can make my child happy and they produce good grandkids and it's a happily ever after thing, I don't have a problem with that. Then they're not racist. Alright? And here's my thing. I'm a strong believer in this. If my child, whether it be a boy or girl, decides to date someone who's black, I'm not going to be sketchy about it. I'm going to be right up honest. I said, I need to meet their parents. I need to know what kind of home they come from. If they came from a home like mine, I'm not going to stop her from dating them because that's just going to push them more into that direction. But I'm going to tell them this. I'm going to say, I want you to be happy, one. But two, and more importantly, because this will affect you in the long run for the rest of your natural life, so better be open and honest with that person that you're dating. Don't lead them on. Don't make them think that they're going to be with you for the rest of your life when you know that's not your intention. Be honest from the jump. That is also a professional courtesy that can keep people from being shot while in a relationship, or stabbed, or murdered, or homicide, suicide, that kind of thing. The problem with people not using professional courtesy in relationships is that it leads to fatalities. Alright? Then back on the professional courtesy. You know, if you have a friend who's white and you're black, and the white guy goes, would you let my son date your daughter? And you jump up and say, hell no, motherfucker. I'm not letting your son have sex with my daughter in any level. Then you're the racist. So you see how that works? And anyway you slice it, it's kind of really not up to you anyway. If they find each other and they do their thing, they're going to do their thing, and it's not going to be a damn thing you can do about it. Therefore, we move off that subject back on to professional courtesy. It's still connected, but you know, this is how when you go to other people's houses, you really find out about a person's perspective by asking a question out of left field like that. Now, you may catch them off guard, which would probably have their reflex in, and they might not be racist, they just might have a reflex of, hell no! You know, I don't want to think about shit like that. And that's fine, you know. But, you know, you need to explain to them why you said it. Say, look, man, I heard rumors at the job that you're a racist. I wanted to test it. I was like, why would you do that? I say, because I like to know where I stand. I like to know if the knife is coming to my face or if it's coming to my back. That would be a professional courtesy of knowing where the fuck I stand. Because if my daughter meets your son and you don't like her because she's colored, but your son likes her and then you disown your son, I know where I stand. And your son could be the best thing since sliced bread that ever happened to my daughter. I'd rather her be with someone who loves her despite her color, despite her attitude, despite the crap she's willing to throw out there, but he's willing to take it and be with her and make her happy for the rest of her and his life, than her be with somebody who's the same color who treats her like complete dog shit. That's just the way I see it. And you don't have to agree with that. Give me the professional courtesy of getting my point out. You know, and the thing with professional courtesy, no matter where you are, you can't prove or not prove that someone is a racist. But you can get real close with everything that I just said. Because the truth be told, sometimes it's just reflex. They may not be racist at all. They may want to have time to process it. They may need time to think about what the hell you just said. You know, it's like, well, you just said, James, yes, that's what I said, but let's tell the truth here. Sometimes it's reflex. I'm pretty sure that if you've been wronged by someone of a different color or ethnicity, you tend to look at all of them the same. And if you say you don't, you're lying through your teeth. Because I can tell you right now, I've had some very bad experiences with white people. I've had some very bad experiences with black people. I've had some very bad experiences with Asian people. And by Asian, that extends into Native Americans. I have been a victim of both racism and reverse racism. And without a professional courtesy, I probably would have never known about these things until, you do things. So my professional courtesy extends to this. I applied for a job one place, and there was a lady from Africa who was there while I was filling out the application. I checked black, and she looked at me dead in my face and said, "Are you sure that's your race?" I kind of was taken back a bit, and I looked at her and said, "Ma'am, with all due respect, I know what color I am." And she goes, "With all due respect, you don't look black to me." I said, "Why? Because my skin tone's a totally different shade of yours?" I said, "Because I'm really this color instead of this color?" He's like, "No, because your face, I thought you were Mexican or Hawaiian." And I told her, "Yeah, I get that a lot because I'm also part Cherokee Indian. But my birth certificate, by all legal rights, says that I'm black, so I check black." Because when I was born in 1973, they didn't have other, and they went by whatever the hell I guess the mother was. My mom looks white, so I'm surprised that my birth certificate doesn't have white written on it. But her mom's darker than she is. But her dad was light like her. But her dad looked like a white man with a tan. So my family's a little jacked up in the color department. So when I have gone to other jobs, I specifically let them know, look, I'm mixed. My birth certificate says black. Is it okay if I put down black instead of other? Because when the IRS comes looking for me, I need them to be able to find me so that I can pay them the money when you take it out of my check, which beats me going to jail for fraud. And now as a vet, I have to put that on my application as well because I don't want to go to jail for fraud. Anyway, the professional courtesy on the job, because I want to close out because I know I've made one video too long and this video will probably be too short. But the professional courtesy on the job is that you don't know what your boss does when they go home. You don't know if your boss has a big dartboard with your face on it. Don't ask me how he got it, but he may have a big dartboard with your face on it. Just hum darts in there and say, "I hate that black fucker. I hate that black fucker." Probably hits me in the nose every time. Yeah, you don't know that. And then again, your boss may go home and have a picture of everybody who works there and says, let me throw a dart in who I think should get a raise today. Oh, I got James. Yes! Yeah, let me throw a dart in who else I think needs a raise today. Because they need a raise. So as a professional courtesy, these darts have the word raise written on it. Beep! Ah, okay, I got this person. So there'll be a little bit extra on their check. You don't really know. The whole point of me using the professional courtesy as a line of saying, when you leave your job, you have no idea when other people leave their job, which is the same job. You don't know if they're going to go home and talk about you in a negative light or positive light. You only know that just like you, they can't wait to get the hell home. Try to remember that. Because it is a professional courtesy to be able to live in America and try not to deal with the racial tension that is. However, it is also a professional courtesy that if you want to go home and be a racist, you have every right to do so. I would recommend, though, that if you are going home to be a racist, that you don't teach racism to your children, and that you don't teach racism and prejudice to your grandchildren, because it's going to be a really rough world coming up in the next century, and I intend on being long dead before the chaos of that shit happens. And all in all, we're all human. We all bleed. We all need air. We all eat. We all shit. We all stink when we don't wash our asses. And more importantly, we all have gas. And gas is nasty on every level. So if you're going to do anything, try to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And give everyone the professional courtesy to do the same. You're at home, be who you want. You want to be a racist? Knock yourself out. Just be willing to live with the consequences of that. You want to be a decent person and not a racist? Do that. But only you can decide what you're going to be as you grow in life. If you want to grow and be a productive member of society and be part of the solution, do that. If you're going to be part of the problem, then you might want to be prepared for the consequences that happen after. I'm James Williams Jr. Comfort Habit number 2. Be seeing you.